Selected Tokens is back once again, bringing the latest ICO reviews, and today we have another project which is called REMME, which is reminiscing of Remember Me. So as you can see right away, it has to do something about security and to ensure that all our devices, all our accounts and all our networks which are protected by a password are done correctly, in this case in a completely different way. So in the shorter sense, what you're trying to do right now is really to eliminate the human factor in the authentication. So we're going to see how they are going to develop that and how this project is coming about. So REMME, remember me. So basically what they're trying to do right now is eliminate the human factor, which is basically the biggest percentage of why sometimes of you or a close friend to you, or in this case big companies as well, are taken down by some hacking accounts or some just misconduct by any employee or some type of behavior in that way, and that leads to serious damages and losing lots of accounts, and with that prejudice for the company in terms of money and information as well. So here we can see no more passwords, no more break-me. REMME implements unbreakable, foolproof user authentication to protect your users, employees, and companies' data from cyber attacks. So let's just trying to learn a little bit more about this project. So as I was saying in the beginning, no chance for human error. Most security breaches happen because of some sort of human weakness. A password may be too easy to guess, people leave their browsers open on public computers, write passwords down on paper or in a file on their computers, or simply get tricked into giving away their login data. The REMME technology makes passwords obsolete, thus eliminating the human factor from the authentication process. So for me right now, when I see this, I really think that this is like really like big news, and this is kind of innovative in a way, because basically you are cutting down yourself or your employees, and I guess from the equation of the human error. That's really good, because you know, for these big companies, you have seen this in the let's say in these few years, we have watched bigger and bigger cyber attacks. Is becoming like a major threat, either to companies or to everyday civilians like me and you. But it's really a problematic issue right now, and having companies that are trying to do something innovative in that way to prevent that is a really great idea. Once again, REMME is trying to do this, eliminating the human factor of the equation and applying these types of security measures into the blockchain and doing your own protocol for your own device. So you're gonna see this a little bit later. Let's just maybe play this little bit video for you to get a little more information about this. So just getting to load. So here we go.
In ancient times, long before the internet, people protected data with guardians. Today, the username and password architecture is one of the most universally used ways for protection. But people don't want to remember long combinations of letters and numbers anymore. Just imagine the most common password in the world is 123456. Several thousands of the most frequently used passwords open 9 out of 10 doors. That's why REMME has come up with a way to avoid using passwords at all. Here's how we do it. Instead of a password, we give each device a specific SSL certificate. Certificate data is stored in blockchain, so a fake certificate will never work.
So this is one of the biggest things that they are trying to do. So this is the major factor right there. You got your own protocol for the device, which enables to a fake protocol cannot access your information and data.
We got rid of the authentication server and password database, so hackers have no potential targets. No central server, no weak points. REMME provides 100% protection against most common attacks. And what's more, user authentication takes just one click. For the highest level of protection, we use a two-factor authentication. Feel the power of a Jedi.
As you see, basically the human factor is no longer an option in case of these app hacking abilities. So it's really cool. One of the most problematic information that they share is that the passwords that we have in our own accounts and so on, it's really not effective at all. So the passwords are getting too much common because, you know, we have too much things to remember. To remember like in your mobile phone, it's one, your number, your credit card number, your email account, your Skype account, your accounts for everything that we have. So basically cutting down that, and although we lose that sense of we have the control of the password, but in another way we basically don't need it because we are secure 100% from those major attacks that we see in that video that are the most common. Of course, this can be more problematic if you own a company that has like sensitive data or something like that. But it's really important to see how they are trying to make this concept happen. And the one thing that my research on them really let me say about them is they are I really like the way they are doing their communication. So. And before this, I was going to a little browsing on the website and just trying to get more information to talk to you guys. But I watched their pitch at a conference in Kiev. I'm not going to say the name of the conference because I'm not want to give you misleading information. But it's a video, if I'm not mistaken, is on their YouTube, so the REMME YouTube page. So they have like a video of their pitch that they do in the conference in Ukraine, Kiev, and basically I really like the way they build the project till now. So they aren't just saying that they have this amazing idea and this is how to work. No, they really have like 5 pilot projects going right now between previous clients. So they are really trying to say and to all the public and all the companies seeing firsthand what this can do to them, and I guess that's really interesting. I strongly recommend you to watch that video that I'm talking about. Just type in REMME Kiev and I guess you'll be fine on YouTube and see the pitch. So here we go once again, how we can help. So everything is safe now. Security has never been so simple. Whether you are a startup or a large company, REMME has you what it takes to prevent breaches and keep your data safe. So critical infrastructure, the Internet of Things, the medtech, and the crypto exchanges. So let's just read some use cases just to give a more broader information about this. So here we go. You have a full detail of things. So if you click on the Internet of Things, you'll see how these things are done in the medtech as well, and once again in the crypto exchanges. So they identify the problem and say how they can make it better. I strongly recommend you to do a research on them. The website is one of the cleanest that I've ever come about. It's really simple. The interface is amazing. The copy for the site is really good. The details and everything are really. It's just a strong overall website. I recommend you if you have interested in them, and we'll talk about later in the video about their current token sale and ICO. But if you want to get and don't lose anything about those guys are doing right now and the current status of the project and all things. If you have any question or any particular doubts, I strongly recommend to get either of these social medias. Just give them the email and trying to understand for yourself better of the project. Once again, at your own risk, you will be able to sort out if this is a project for you or not. But for letting a little bit off topic, let's just return to the main event and trying to understand more about the technology and the project itself. So as you see in that video, it's really going to be easy to connect with the REMME. So it's really a two-factor authentication. It's really easy. It's as a point of a touch, as you can see, which will bring more facilitation into this process of authenticating ourselves as the owner of one of the users of some account or some detailed information. So I guess that's really going to be a good thing. So I don't know, let's just learn a little bit more about them, just trying to see the team and so on. So we at REMME want everyone to feel safe. The internet has made it possible to transmit information quickly and affordable. More than 200 million people acquire internet access every year. According to IIS, the number of devices will reach 20 billion by the end of this year. We proudly bring you the security that will keep you safe and sound in this digitalized world. So basically, we have almost 20 billion devices by the end of this year, and what they're trying to say in this way is that the market possibilities for them are huge. So of course for them what's really is more important, and it's me speaking for myself, not really on the information that I know about it, but I really think that's getting big companies or companies in some sort of way, it's what they're really trying to do. It's really what the money is. It's really what the biggest and more courageous projects are. So I guess that's really the market that they're trying to cap right there. So as you can see, we have created REMME. We talked about this a little bit throughout the video. Convenience without compromising security. So once again, this is backed up by the blockchain. So we believe that the blockchain technology will help to build a safer tomorrow for all of us. We offer bulletproof user authentication that protects against cyber attacks. So in addition, one of the big things, and I'm almost repeating myself throughout the video, but is the elimination of passwords. So no more human error in authentication. So once again, they're trying to help us. So is there a quick around look into their team? Alex Monod, the founder, Roman Kovac is the CTO, Jen Krell was this guy actually that I was talking about, so that video conference in the Ukraine, Kiev, was was their business development advisor doing the talk, and they he explained one thing more detail that I left out when I was mentioning this. Besides stating that they have like 5 ongoing pilot projects right now, since they're the development stage through to this day, they have these 5 projects. But one of the main things that you're really trying to do right now is getting audit, and getting this done by one of the major consultant companies as well. So basically, what you're trying to do in this case, we can see that you're trying to approach a very transparent way of doing the things, because most commonly right now in this when ICOs are getting like more, let's say, acceptance, that's like a lot of struggling with these ICOs as well. So many of these ICOs basically is trying to sell you one idea or a project, and they don't have really no one from implementation to do that. They don't have the team, they don't have the work put in. They just like a vision or some kind of way. So, and basically when things are getting in my personal opinion, like too technological, and maybe even if you are an investor, although you can see, understand that the applications you really would have like a full confirmation that the thing that you're investing in is really what the people behind the project say that it is. So I guess one of the biggest things it really is just trying to understand and see for yourself how the things are going, how the things work, what they actually do in the everyday life. So what Jen Kell said about this is they are trying to blindly and putting their company to a audit to one of the major consultant companies. They are trying to do that just to prove and to like having like a full proof or a full proof of concept. Sorry for repeating myself, but it's just like this. So they're trying to prove that their concept is really good, how the things are done, the structure of the business is good, so everything they're trying to audit that just to get one more confirmation about what they're trying to do. So in this step, of course, we can see that as a little promo, but once again, they're trying to just say, hey guys, we are this company, we do this, and we actually do it well, and it really works. So basically, it's what they're trying to prove with that sentence, although a little bit promotional statement, but I really think that's just like important for ICOs just to prove really what they do in the everyday and just put their selves into the scrutiny of these consult companies just to have this type of approval. So I guess that's really a good idea. And just a little quite side note, and I guess that was really interesting. But let's continue to the team. So Kate Pospalova, the CMO and co-founder, Eugene Babichenko, the DApp engineer, Antonelli Padento, smart contract engineer, Taras Emelianenko, the system architect, and Zoya Dalinina, the social media specialist. So their team is really broadened up. As they say in the preview of the video, this project was like the spark for this project was cyber attacks in Ukraine. So we can see that I don't want to be like some basically ignorant and so on sort, but I guess all the team is from Ukraine. I cannot assure that 100%, but it's what it feels like about the project. So that's really cool. I really like this ICO project. Usually just some countries in the beginning was the main founders of the movement, and now we can see different countries, different teams, and different people from each stages of life and which in different areas creating a few businesses that come to help to change the world as you see it right now. So let me just click in their blog entry just to see how their communication is doing, because one of the facts that I really like to point out is how the company, or in this case ICO, is really communicating to their community, how they're growing that way, if there are like people behind it, asking questions, sort of thing. Because the project, of course, you want to be like as strong as ever, the team is good, but if they don't have it's not a customer service, but they don't have like a closer relation to their core following, that's usually like a bad note. So let's just see how they use this blog entry, how they use their communication to sort things out. So as you can see right now, they have like a pretty good detailed blog with some entries. So kindly, this remind me of saying a real thing that I was forgetting about. So they did a pre-sale that was over, and they raised $1.8 million. So almost $2 million raised in the pre-sale ICO. That's really big numbers. Once again, for the research that I did, they hope to get from 5 to 20 million in the next stages. I'm gonna talk about that in a further ado. Just a little close. So they announced their partnerships. They have all sorts of communication, the new team members and advisors. So I can really see right now this, like, just seeing like the dates of the blog entries, that this is something that they work on, And I really like the social side of this project because it really helps us understand that it is a complete project, and I really like that. So, without a quicker reminder, let's just inform how the ICO dates and so on, just to get, and we're gonna talk about a little more about the tokens and the utility of them, and just trying to see what this project in the end for you as an investor may be represent if you feel that way, if your research leads to that. Once again, at your own risk, at your own will, do your research. If you have any doubts, don't be afraid and talk to these guys. They have like a really support all of these ICOs, maybe I guess the ICOs that are really worried and they have like a strong wish and they have like a strong will of performing good and they have confidence in them. They are usually there for you for your answers. Even if you are not just an investor or say I want to put money, but if you have really some type of question, they have like people that's just going to help you to understand more about the project, which is in the end what they want. So let's just click here in the token cell to get a little more details for you guys, and we're just trying to understand together how this process is going to be. Okay, so as you see right now, the public sales starts on February the 3rd, so which represents by today, as I'm recording this, it represents 14 days ahead that you have to make your own conclusions and to see if this is a project for you. Once again, REMME is building an open source distributed public infrastructure protocol with a set of dApps, enabling passwordless authentication for human devices. So, in this page, it's not wrong to mention that you have here the PDF for the white paper. So if you are really strong to continue, if you have like a more detailed and more technological and more thorough analysis from their own part, I really strongly recommend you to download the white paper and have a really completely look around. If you have further notice or you want to get like the latest details or get to know in a more easier way some question about these guys, I really recommend you to go to their Telegram. They're really helpful on that aspect. So as we see, the pre-sale is over and they raised 1.87 million, so almost 2 million in the pre-sale. They got tons of press right now, as you can see, of the big outlets from the cryptocurrency world are getting back on these guys, are getting feature articles and so on. So once again, more data about to say. So this basically highlights the REMME solution highlights is really how they put like the things, like they're really trying to simplify how the user should be and how the user is right now. So this is why they have their own solution. So basically REMME, in 3 words we can say passwords, decentralized and fair pricing. So that's really what they're trying to do. Blockchain by nature, we see this because you see the evolution. So in 2010 they have the MVP 1.0 on top of Emmercoin blockchain with Telegram 2-factor authentication. In 2007 they move up, so the MVP 2.0 on top of Bitcoin blockchain with Telegram 2-factor authentication. And in this year, sorry about that, a little bit under the cold, in 2018 the REMME network itself. So this is the REMME token. It's a fuel to power up the REMME distributed ecosystem. It's your digital key access to the following services. So this token is a utility token which will gonna certificate the generation, certificate the verification, establish a node, and the fee for fiat conversion. So their plan is to issue and generate 1 billion of REMME tokens. You have There details information about this. So REMME is a utility token. It powers all operation within the ecosystem and serves as a digital key for gaining access to REMME PKI, protocol and dApps. So the total token supply will be 1 million. The pre-sale soft cap will be almost $500. The pre-sale hard cap will be 3 million, and the public sale hard cap is going to be 20 million, including the ICO stage, the pre-sale stage, sorry. So basically, what they're trying to say in that way is they're trying to achieve the between 5 and 20 million in this raising system. So we see the pre-sale was on December 4, which was already been done in the past, and the next really opening is in February the 3rd of this year, which starts the public sale. Here we have how they're going to distribute the token and their bonuses. You should look into this further with more notice and more cautious if you are thinking of or are considering an investment in this project. Always check the token distributions and the bonus or referral programs that they have. All these ICOs, not just this, is one of the biggest factors. So just trying to really see how they're going to allocate their money, allocate the tokens, how they're going to distribute themselves. It's one of the biggest, most important process for me, at least. So you can see how they're trying to do the things right now. So once again, with this project you have all the information on the website. If you have further questions, you can ask them directly via their LinkedIn, but I strongly recommend you to go to their own social medias and especially the Telegram. So let me just put on the landing page of the website right there, just to say one thing and final thought about this project. So one thing that I really like about this is a different way of doing a thing that is causing problems right now. So you have here the day, mark it on your calendar if you are interested in doing so. The ICO begins between 40, if not 40, between the February the 3rd, so the 13th. So I really recommend you to have a look around, sit down, analyze the things by yourself. And as far as by me, I really think that this is a great way, so innovative way of doing things. Although there might be some competitors in this space right now, with the thing they're really trying to do, so that protocol defense, let's put it in simple terms. I guess that's like I don't see like anything is done like this, so I guess that's innovative page and another step further in other types of authentication process. So I really think those components, the team, the problems they're trying to solve, all the projects really was commenced to this day. I really found that it's really a strong project with a good team and a lot of good channels to you to get more information about them. And one good thing is they're not trying to hide anything. So one sure is you have to be confident in the team that they're trying to do. They're not going to sell just one idea. They're selling you a project and not a vision. And I can at least assure you that and guarantee you on that. So once again, and with that transparency side, they're trying to get audit just to have one biggest approval that they can have. So just to the people and the market and possible investors can understand what's the power and the real power of their project right now. So without further ado, once again, thank you for all the support, for the likes and so on, all that good stuff, as you know. So we see this in the previous video, and hopefully that you like this review.